No diggity, no diggity. No doubt P. Diddy will face sex trafficking charges. Oh my God. FBI agent did what? Oh, it just say FBI agent said that shit, goddamn. Fool. Well, the dark must come to light, right? You know what I'm saying? So we ain't gonna wait no time, goddamn. What do y'all think Bruh is guilty of, goddamn? What do y'all think his ass did do that he's being accused of? And what do y'all think he didn't do that he being accused of? So, like, subscribe, comment, goddamn. Follow my Instagram at ST.KT and at ReelyKT, goddamn. We ain't gonna wait no time, fool. My God, I'm scared. Let's get it, baby.
So if we think about the possibility of a sex trafficking investigation, sex trafficking related charges,
can't be hitting niggas in the crib for an underage girl for like.
There was a woman.
If you want to do it in the booty hole, that's fine. That's your ass, fool. But you can't do it with the kids, goddamn. You know what I'm saying, fool? That's beyond me.
Sex trafficking and gang raping her when she was 17 years old.
Oh!
There was a Jane Doe who says that she was flown from Michigan to New York City, supplied with drugs and alcohol, and then assaulted by all three men at Combs' recording studios. Now, Combs, by the way, has always denied the allegations, and in fact, in response to one lawsuit, had posted, I believe it was on Instagram, "Enough is enough. The last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear, I did not do," and he goes on to say, "did not do this." Now, again, that was in relation to a lot of these lawsuits being filed, but when we're talking about sex trafficking, Tracy, and we're talking about the Southern
Can't be trafficking the sex. Can't be trafficking the sex.
Where does your mind go
Tripping.
in terms of what we might be looking at in terms of potential charges, potential allegations, and how it's connected to New York?
So I absolutely believe, and again, simply my hypothesis, he is innocent until proven guilty, that he will be arrested and indicted on sex trafficking charges. I have no doubt about that. And I do believe that he was most likely the kingpin of this.
So that nigga flew out the country. That nigga escaped. He evacuated that whole.
Spanning multiple states, and that he is trafficking or allegedly trafficking girls across multiple states, across the United States. This isn't just an isolated incident in one location. And so I have heard things as well about
his that nigga look like he be fucking niggas in the booty? Yes or no? Let me know some data comments.
As well. So I suspect more evidence may come out as a result of that. But these are extremely serious charges. And part of me, too, is frustrated by somewhat the complacency, right, of the entertainment industry as a whole in this. And I think sometimes people fly under the radar for a long time, like Epstein did as well, because people are scared. People want to still climb the ranks. And we're doing it all the while sort of sacrificing the safety of these young victims or girls that are involved in this. And that is deeply troubling.
So those boys too, goddamn.
More of this. I hear you, and I think, you know, it's really, really frightening to think about. I mean, I read all these allegations and the lawsuits, and I've never heard anything like it. And obviously, we don't know exactly where this investigation's going. But if Combs is charged with federal crimes here, but he's not in the country, and he's actually in a country or a jurisdiction where there's no extradition agreement, how do you get him back? What do federal authorities do?
Damn.
I'm a supervisory special agent with the Washington.
Oh my God, FBI ad. Fuck no.
That's a really good question. And I looked up just because I was curious actually about Antigua. I don't know all of them off the top of my head. Some I do, some I don't.
So if he in a country with no extradition policies
with them,
he can get charged for whatever the fuck he want in the United States, but they can't take his ass. They can't do nothing to his ass. Technically,
that a country would allow his plane to land with him on it in their country. They don't have to let him land if they don't want to. And so I think that it would be very difficult for him to be able to land in an inhospitable country simply because they don't want him. We do have extradition treaties with more countries than I think people would think. And typically they will send folks back to us as long as we take the death penalty off of the table. And I don't believe that this is a death penalty case. It's Southern District of New York. And so I believe that whether we have an extradition treaty or not, with whatever country he may or may not go to, they will send him back.
And talk to me about what you think they have in terms of a case. Because, right, you say they want to preserve the evidence.
First off, got to find his ass first, goddamn.
Prosecution against
then you got to see they got
someone else.
Boy, you better go to the smallest rich country you could find.
For the search warrant to be issued. And I wonder, you know, I mentioned some of the interviews. They wouldn't have had enough to try to arrest him first and then do the raid, or they need the raid first to see what's at the property before they can build a case and build charges and then arrest him. Talk to me about the timeline of how this typically works in terms of if we're seeing a raid on several properties. Does that in conjunction with an arrest? Does that come before an arrest? Does that, how does it typically work?
Typically, Jesse, it's in conjunction with an arrest. But I started thinking about this a little bit more last night, and I was thinking that if he has videos or his associates have videos, and they are attempting to distribute those of young male children or female children, that means that a child is in imminent danger. And so part of me wonders if this was done to stop that, and that they will get to the arrest obviously at some point, because as you mentioned, typically these warrants are served and there's usually an indictment that goes hand in hand with that at the same time. So in my opinion, it's not unheard of. It's just a little bit unusual.
Oh, Zendaya looking bitch. She keep being about.
We did
who is that?
raids, at the FBI of this nature, we also had an arrest warrant for the individual as well, and so. It is unusual, but I don't want to say it's unheard of. And again, I'm just speculating, but part of me wonders if this was still actively being distributed. And if it is, they need to shut that down immediately.
Were you surprised at the response that we saw from Douglas Wigdorf? This is a lawyer for Cassie Ventura and one of the Jane Does in response to reports of this search warrant that was issued on Sean Combs. Now, remember, Cassie Ventura settled with Sean Combs, but the statement says, quote, "We will always support law enforcement when it seeks to prosecute those that have violated the law. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible for his depraved conduct." Now, again,
damn, police and bitch.
Settlement doesn't necessarily mean you're saying Combs is completely innocent. It's you've agreed to resolve the issue. Doesn't absolve him of wrongdoing, but to make that statement, I think that's something to be said. Now, again, of course, he's representing someone else that's continually suing Sean Combs. But again, that statement I thought was really interesting. What was your take on it?
Yeah, I thought that statement was interesting. My question about it, though, is did he tip them off? Did he provide them with information? Did Cassie Ventura or any of these individuals involved in these civil suits also provide evidence along with that to build this criminal case? Because obviously those two things are separate. So in my opinion, in listening to that statement, it actually sounds like
plus 5 years.
They did. That's incredible that they did that because I believe that Cassie Ventura was absolutely...
Nigga don't never be with a dark-skinned bitch. They always be light as fuck.
And if she was able to document all of that and provide evidence, then that absolutely
never be with no dark-skinned bitch. That shit crazy.
It's so crazy to think about.
All them hoes be white, light as fuck.
I'm not surprised.
They don't want you reproducing this, you know what I'm saying?
Go back to Little Roger.
They don't want no more of this on TV.
It has to be different places, including in New York.
So they make you date out of your race.
What can we expect next to happen as this
opposite color,
it's going to develop quite rapidly?
So when you reproduce,
I agree
and
with you.
I think it's going to develop
quite rapidly as well.
Like Karen here.
I think the next thing that will happen is an indictment of P. Diddy. That's what I think, and that he will be taken into custody hopefully soon at some point. But honestly, I'm not sure. This is, like I said, a little bit unusual, and that there isn't an indictment yet. Although
that nigga
one may be forthcoming.
What about other individuals? Because remember, going back to one of
the lawsuits, that nigga expunged all his accounts for and turned them hoes into foreign dollars.
The Trafficking Act, big law aimed at fighting against.
I feel like he got to be in it though he gotta be in on it to a certain degree, fool. Cause how the fuck the nigga leave soon as that shit happen?
Basically saying these minors are engaging in commercial sex acts.
He must was watching from his secret laboratory. You feel me?
A really big operation.
He had to have been watching from his
Potentially
secret laboratory for
arrests
see
of
that
other
shit and he
individuals
dipped.
connected to,
But they
the
said
rapper,
he
right?
dipped before the
I
raid
agree.
happened,
I
so
think
he
we
knew
will
something.
probably see
He
the
knew.
arrest
The
of
nigga
one
fucking
or both of his
knew.
sons, because I believe
Fucking
that
knew it.
based on evidence in cases that we've seen in the past from a civil perspective, they have been allegedly involved in this. But at the same time, too, I think that there may be a lot of people who have associated with him in his circle that are probably scared right now because they may have had some involvement in this as well. And so in my opinion, I think they will start at the top, obviously arresting Diddy or his sons. And from there, in my opinion, they may try to plea. I don't think he's going to completely avoid jail time or anything like that if he's indicted, but maybe they will try to plead to get names of other individuals that are associated with this. But again, completely my hypothesis, Jesse.
And I'll leave on this. There was
That nigga named
reporting, there
Jesse,
was
don't
an
cry.
allegation that Combs may have been allegedly harassing Mr. Jones because of that lawsuit that
Who
he
is this
filed.
nigga?
Jones
Who is
allegedly
this, y'all?
sent agents
Let
to
me know from that
intimidate
comment
his
who the fuck is
8-year-old daughter and the mother of his child and his ex-wives. So you talk about the imminence of this raid. You talk about the manpower put forward by this raid. If that is true, and again, we don't know if it's connected to the lawsuit in any way, but that's something else to think about, right?
100%. He has a pretty long documented history of threatening individuals and asking them to, I guess, clean up his mess or clean up his dirty work, if you will. And so that is not at all surprising to me. And I do assume that individuals who may have been involved in speaking out or testifying in any of these civil cases may also be awarded some type of security and protection as well.
Tracy Walder, you're the best. Thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Jesse.
Tight shit. I just remembered this song I'm gonna remake, goddamn, so I could release that hoe. I just gotta remember the beat, bruh. I got the lyrics in my head. Nah, that shit crazy though, fool. What do y'all think is gonna be the outcome of this situation? So did his sons get or did not get arrested, goddamn? Y'all let me know some of the comment. Y'all let me know what country y'all think he fled to. Y'all let me know something. Do y'all think they have extradition policies, goddamn? Or did that nigga not be smart enough to check for some shit like that? And how the fuck y'all think he got out of that hole soon that day before, right before they came and raided his shit? For that nigga had to have known. But let me know what y'all think. That comment, man. That's it for this video, fool. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Drop a comment what y'all want to see next. Follow me on the gram at sc.kt and at ReelyKT. And me and mine out and out everywhere. Y'all go screen that shit. I'm gonna see y'all next video, man. Big bro.